That's right as I'll ever be. You're empty. Yeah. You ready? Nothing like hitting sustained notes with sustained off. Two more to go, folks. It's cool in here. That
riveted with extra
telling you, condenses in a hurry.
You ready?
Yeah, maybe I'll count these right this time.
Just that accidental there, maybe.
I can see the shadows instead of notes.
Yeah, sometimes I think I need a bit of stand light.
My stand light has a short, so I can only count on one of the two twin ears to stay lit. Yeah, you're kind of in a dark spot.
Yeah, there's like nothing above you. So.
Could we move out a little bit? You may see better.
Armed forces.
Yeah, armed forces.
She wants to know if you want to move forward.
No. That's all right. It's too late now.
You'll make
We
it
got-
up as
we
it
got
goes
what?
along.
We got what, 5 more minutes to play or something?
10. Or less.
Everybody on armed forces.
This one is
Takes a while.
this has a white background.
Don't start too
It's
slow.
so easier to
Think of
The 90s thing was yellow.
Oh, mine's white.
And little. And
Well, I redid my part. So I can see it.
I just couldn't.
ready?
Yep.
And I didn't know it.
The way the noise is in here, it's almost like somebody left a radio on in the distance. It's weird.
Vienna Nights.
Vienna Nights.
Doesn't look the cost.
Two cuts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one jumps to 73,
Uh-huh.
from 63 to 73.
Yes.
Play those 9 bars of 3/4. And then the other
105 to 121.
Yeah. The end of 105
Play 105 in the middle.
to the bar before the key change. Well, actually, 2 bars before the key
put in the 105 to 121.
change. Right.
I have a pinch in there.
Well, yeah.
So I was hopefully find my way. Alright. So the first cut is not until end of 63 going to bar 70.
Actually, it's the end of 62. You don't play 63 at all.
Okay.
And then I pick it up at 73 with the Blue Daniel thing, yeah.
All right.
Describe the twin. Which of recessionals and stars painted back up.
Alrighty.
I mean, procession.
My clock must have lost a lot of time.
Get the two processions up.
You might want to have them side by side. There's too much open.
We got the,
On the side by side.
we're done with the,
Yeah, we're done with the fun stuff. I told them we needed a 5-minute break. I need a 10-minute break, but 5's fine.
Yeah, I had only 10 hours. Yeah, this clock has been working really well. I don't doubt you. I'm saying this has been running weird. It'll run all right for up to 2-3 days, and then it starts losing time.
Yeah. So that's the introduction.
It's less than a year.
Then, yeah, so here,
So I might have to get a new battery.
now
Well, that's about as long as I've ever run.
Everybody's excited.
All the way at the end and back to the beginning till we come to a stop.
Please be seated. Good afternoon, graduates, guests of the graduates, and honored students of the Stark State College community on the platform. I am Dr. Lady Gibson Shreve, Provost and Chief Academic Officer of Stark State College. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 80th Commencement Ceremony for Stark State College. This is a special time to formally honor the accomplishments of each individual in this class and mark the new opportunities for progression in their respective career paths. Please join me in extending our thanks to the Falls River Brass Quintet, who is performing the excellent music this afternoon. At this time, it's my privilege to introduce Ryan Johanning, Interfaith Campus Ministries, who will give the reflection. I ask that you stand for the reflection. Please remain standing afterward, at which time Fonda Williams, a member of the Stark State Board of Trustees, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and the Falls River Brass Quintet will play the Star-Spangled Banner.
It is a privilege to be here today with so many vibrant and intelligent students who are eager to live out their callings and make a difference in the world. You are not here by accident, but rather because of dedication, hard work, and perseverance. As we look around, we give thanks for the family and friends that surround you and the ways they have helped you, whether it was aiding you in your studies or simply offering encouragement and love. We are also grateful for all the staff and faculty who prepared and encouraged you to pursue your dreams and passions. Enjoy this day, one that you will always remember.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and life for all. Thank you.
Please be seated. Making arrangements for a graduation requires the time and talents of many dedicated personnel. They are scattered throughout the audience. We compliment them and thank them for their contributions to the success of this event. Please join me in recognizing the outstanding efforts of these individuals. On the platform are Dr. Para Jones, President of the college, the Vice Presidents, and the Deans. Seated on the floor are the college faculty and staff who are dedicated to student success and the mission of Stark State College. I ask the faculty and staff to stand and be recognized by the graduates and the audience. The dedicated group that just stood is the very visible part of our great institution. Also, there is another group, not as visible on a daily basis, but I assure you, just as dedicated. These individuals, who also volunteer, give their time, talent, and energy, are the members of the Stark State College Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to introduce them. I ask them to stand as I call their name and to remain standing until all have been introduced, and I ask the audience to recognize them for their dedicated service to our college and the community it serves. Ms. Karen Lefton, Chair. Mr. Haroon Rashad, First Vice Chair. Ms. Elaine Russell-Riolfi, Second Vice Chair. Ms. Tracy Carter. Ms. Marley Fernandez. Ms. Alice Stevens. Ms. Patricia Wackerly. Mr. Jeffrey Walters. Mr. Fonda Williams II. Please join me in recognizing all of our Board of Trustees. Stark State College has a tradition of honoring our graduating service members and veteran students. The college made available red, white, and blue military recognition cords to wear during commencement to show our gratitude for their service to our country. We are proud to recognize them for their commitment, sacrifice, and service. I ask the service members and veterans who are graduating, as well as those in the audience, to stand and be recognized for your commitment and dedication to our country. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Para Jones, President of Stark State College. Dr. Jones will come to the podium to speak to you about the opportunity to stay involved with Stark State as an alumnus and to introduce our distinguished graduation speaker. Dr. Jones.
Thank you. Before I do the introductions, I want to add my best wishes to all graduates, families, friends, faculty, and staff. We're so delighted to have you here today, the first commencement in 2 years. And we are so excited to see you here to receive your degrees. Graduates, this is a day to celebrate and reflect on your success. This honor of receiving your college diploma is the result of your hard work and your perseverance, even during a pandemic. You sacrificed what you wanted to do for what you knew you had to do to be here today. I encourage you to take advantage of all the opportunities before you as a college graduate. You are entering one of the healthiest job markets in history. Unemployment is at a 50-year low, and the career outlook has never been better, especially for college graduates and those with the education and skills needed today. So take advantage of these opportunities, continue learning, and continue growing professionally and personally. And give back. Give back to your family, friends, career, and community. Lean into your life. Make a difference. As you cross the stage today to receive your college diplomas, you will become one of the thousands of Stark State College alumni who are distinguishing themselves professionally and personally, and who truly make a difference in their lives, their communities, their work, their families. As a Stark State alumnus, you have many opportunities to get assistance from the college, to develop yourself professionally, and reach out to help others through our Alumni Association and College Foundation. The resources of Stark State College remain yours, and they are always available to you. On behalf of our Board of Trustees, faculty, and staff, thank you. We are so proud of what you have accomplished. So as we say goodbye to you as a student, we welcome you as an alumnus of Stark State College. Let's give everyone a hand on that. Today we're here to honor a graduate who sat where you are sitting a while ago, back in 1985. I have the privilege of recognizing the 2022 Stark State College Alumni Hall of Fame inductee, Thomas Ciappini. Tom earned his first degree, his Associate of Applied Science in Electrical Engineering Technology degree from Stark State, moved on to Kent State University, where he earned a bachelor's in industrial technology, and then went on to the Master in Business Administration degree at Ashland University. Tom's career in industry includes time and years of good service to LTV Steel, Republic Steel, SIA America, Inc., and he owned and operated his own engineering and mechanical engineering and electrical maintenance company. Tom, before joining Stark State 18 years ago, Tom served as business manager of Canton City Schools, where he launched the bond initiative for $176 million in capital improvements to schools. He also served as supervisor of plant operations and maintenance, overseeing 38 properties for Canton City Schools. And Tom still holds a patent as co-inventor of the Triad adjustable goalposts at the former Fawcett Stadium. So in 2004, Tom became Stark State College's Vice President of Business and Finance. During 18 years of devoted service to our college, he has been responsible for accounting, finance, forecasting, construction, legal matters, property management, public-private partnerships and negotiations, security and auxiliary enterprises. He's responsible for a $70 million operating budget and has overseen multi-million-dollar capital construction projects for our college. He also served as the college's interim president for 6 months in 2011. Tom is a member of the Board of Community Building Partnership and a member of the parish of St. Benedict's Catholic Church. He graduated from the 17th class of Leadership Stark County and was honored as Distinguished Alumnus of Timken High School and the Ohio Council of Vocational Education. Tom is retiring from Stark State at the end of the month, which makes this award indeed meaningful both for Tom and for our college. Please join me in congratulating and honoring Stark State College's 2022 Alumni Hall of Fame inductee, Tom Ciappini. Tom, I think everybody wants to stand. There you go. Congratulations, Tom. Now I'm honored and privileged to welcome our 2022 Stark State College commencement speaker, Attorney Corey Minor Smith. A native Cantonian, Corey now lives in Washington, D.C. and works as senior counsel for the Department of Housing and Urban Development under the direction of General Counsel Damon Smith and the leadership of HUD Secretary Marcia Fudge. Corey's legal career in Canton and Stark County spans more than 20 years. She served as assistant prosecutor, judicial attorney, and member of the mayor's cabinet. She was general counsel for Stark Metropolitan Housing Authority, which provided housing for Corey and her family while she was growing up. She was the first African American to be elected to a citywide position as at-large council member of Canton City Council. The New York Times described Corey as a fascinating woman who moved 21 times and attended 14 different schools before graduating from high school, has a loved one living with schizophrenia, became a mother her senior year of college, and still went on to law school and became a successful attorney. These experiences led Corey to become a trained facilitator for the National Alliance on Mental Illness and a nationally recognized mental health and wellness advocate. Her memoir, entitled #Driven, with a foreword by renowned motivational speaker Les Brown, was also hailed by the New York Times as searing and moving and featured as an Amazon celebrity pick. She has contributed to the Audible original We've Got Answers program, and she consults with several Fortune 500 companies, including Viacom, Xerox, and iHeartMedia. Corey earned her law degree at the University of Toledo and her bachelor's and master's degrees at Bowling Green State University. She is an active volunteer and philanthropist, a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and the Bowling Green University Alumni Board. She has 2 adult sons, including Jaylon, who graduated from Stark State in 2019. A brick commemorating our commencement speaker's presentation today will be placed in the W.R. Timken courtyard on our main campus in her honor. Now, please join me in welcoming our commencement speaker, Corey Minor-Smith.
Deep breath. Good afternoon, everyone. It is absolutely my honor to be here before you today. Thank you kindly, Dr. Jones, for such a wonderful introduction. I'm very gracious and just grateful for being here safely. Good afternoon to Dr. Jones. Good afternoon to the faculty and staff, to the Board of Trustees, parents and partners, guardians and mentors, boys and girls, but especially the graduating class of 2K22. I am not a numerologist or an astrologer, but since we gather here today on the 22nd day of May, in the 22nd year of this century at 2 p.m., somebody better run to the local store and get an Ohio lottery and play that number. And I must say, I feel like I have won the lottery because I just received my bag for traveling here right before this ceremony. And I give a great shout out to Jermaine Code, and he is the brother of one of your distinguished graduates today, Tony Code Jones. Thank you for bringing me my bag just in time. What a joy and privilege it is for me to celebrate with you this great achievement and to honor this lofty milestone in your lives. You have worked hard to get to this special day, and you should feel proud of your accomplishment. Yes, it is true, you are ending one phase of your lives, but you are also entering an important arena. That's why we call this celebration a commencement. You're commencing or beginning an exciting new chapter in your book of life. And you're writing the new pages for that volume every day. I realize you did not come here to hear me speak, and I know I stand in the way of you all receiving your degrees that you have sweated for and the diplomas that you have coveted. So please allow me to reflect with you briefly on the subject of keep rising to the top. Now, I realize that's not as exciting as me sharing my own views on Kendrick Lamar's latest masterpiece, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That is absolutely a powerful album. If you haven't heard it, I think that you would enjoy it. It's very thought-provoking. And I know some of you are flashing back to Kendrick's earlier work and saying, Corey, please don't kill my vibe. But no, I want to take you back to the old school. I want to take you back exactly 40 years to the year of 1982 when artist Kenny Burke released a song, Rising to the Top. You may have difficulty remembering that song. It didn't necessarily receive a lot of success when it first came out. The song really didn't take off until a number of people sampled it years later, from LL Cool J, Dougie Fresh, and my favorite, Mary J. Blige. That just goes to show you, sometimes it's not the first time. It may not even be the second time or the third time, but we have to keep trying until we succeed. You often must keep trying and trying and trying until you make your mark. Like the song says, we must keep striving so that we can keep rising to the top. What does that have to do with you? Burke's song gives us clues on how to keep rising. He sings in the first verse, I know we're going to do everything we want to. Meanwhile, we are losing because we won't let go. You can't rise to the top if you don't let go of your past. You can't rise to the top if you won't let go of yesterday's hurt and pain. You can't rise to the top if you allow things to continue to hold you down. Now, I know that it's easier said than done. After all, our past is mighty important to us. Our past determines our present and our future. In some ways, that's a good thing. If we have done hard work in the past, we are rewarded in the present with degrees and opportunities to move forward in life. But in another sense, obsessing over the past is not a good thing. Bad habits from the past catch up with us. Negative thoughts and experiences from the past haunt us. Traumas from the past can track us down. But we must be determined to overcome the negative habits, thoughts, and experiences in our lives by reaching for uplifting habits, inspiring thoughts, and productive experiences. No, we can't wave a magical wand and cast some abracadabra spell for success. No, as you all know, it takes great effort. But we must remember it is often a choice to get up, to stay up, and to keep rising up. As Burke sings, let's start thinking what we're doing. Don't let nothing change your mind. Get off the ground. Stop losing. Keep rising to the top. Your mind is extremely valuable in helping to determine how you can rise above the challenging circumstances in your life. Despite all the harm you endure, despite all the trouble you confront, despite all the roadblocks that you may encounter, you can change your thinking and change your mind. As some of you may recall from back in the day, there was this group called Funkadelics, and they sang a song that was followed by one of my favorites in vogue, Free Your Mind, and the rest will follow. Our minds are precious instruments of personal change. They also are important in maintaining great mental health. Every May, we celebrate National Mental Health Awareness Month. I speak from personal experience because I have a loved one who lives with severe mental illness. Has it been difficult? Without a doubt. Have there been times when my loved one wanted to give up? Of course. And has it been a struggle for them to get help, to receive help? Yes, it has. But I also have a loved one who thrives despite the odds, persisted in the face of peril and despite obstacles, and continues to rise despite the barriers of their past. I am also delighted to say that I have another loved one. You heard about him earlier today in Dr. Jones's remarks. Jalen Smith. He is a graduate now of Stark State. Jalen graduated through the early college program. But what many don't know, and what he wants me to share with you today, is that he was academically dismissed from Stark State in 2015. He also was academically dismissed from Kent State University. Jalen took time off to learn himself, to figure out life, and he came back. He was on the dean's list. He was on the president's list. And he went from a 0.8 to graduating with a 3.6. Jalen fought off hard self-doubt and deep depression. And I share this as he wanted me to share with you, because life is hard, but there is help and you can still excel. Ken Burke offers us another clue about how to keep rising in the second verse when he reminds us, keep on believing all the dreams inside of you and don't stop achieving. Yeah, let some love shine through. It is so important to have dreams in life. It is important to dream about your future. It's important to dream about the good that you want to do. It's important to dream of the greatness that you can achieve. It is important to dream of the contributions that you can make. Dreams are the fuel that keep us rising to the top. If you don't have dreams or visions of what is possible, then you will suffer greatly. Even the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. We must keep dreaming about what we can do to achieve success, to build wealth, to love and support our families, and to create a more just society where we can all benefit from our talents, gifts, and skills. It is not enough for us to dream about our own bank accounts. We must dream about prosperity of a nation that shares its resources with the least of these. It is not enough to dream about having a big house on the hill. We must dream about supplying housing to the most vulnerable in our community. I am the product of public housing. I lived in the projects, 1219 Eldon Circle. I'll never forget the address. And yet, I continued to dream about the day when I would find stability after you heard moving 21 times before I went to college. But I would one day find stability and proudly practice the profession that I dreamed about since I was a young child. And now, here I am today, a proud recipient of 3 degrees, a lawyer, an author, a motivational speaker, and servant of the people with our federal government. I kept on dreaming so I could keep rising to the top. And you can keep on dreaming so that you can continue to rise to the top. Don't get it twisted. You've got to work hard to achieve your dreams. As Kenny Burke says, give it all you got. And since I am an 80s baby, I'll tag on what Dougie Fresh said, and that is, you have to not half step. There ain't no half stepping. I'm trying to give y'all a class in music, history, and music. Who said there wasn't college free education? What Dougie Fresh is saying is that you've got to be on your game and your job, doing the best that you can to make those dreams materialize. Hard work is the way that dreams are translated into reality. But finally, I know you're happy to hear those words. For us to keep rising to the top, we must acknowledge that Burke said in his 3rd verse, big-time illusions create a lot of confusion. Let's be honest. There is a competition of dreams and visions that keep us rising to the top. There are illustrations and delusions that create tremendous confusion and keep us plunging to the ground. Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream that America might one day achieve the freedom and justice it often bragged about. He had a dream that America might one day treat Black people with respect and honor the sacred pledge of equality for all men and women. He had a dream that people of all faiths and colors might one day sit together at the table of brotherhood and sisterhood and share in the fruits of our nation's democracy. His dreams help us to keep rising to the top. But there are others who have harmful illusions of greatness and delusions of grandeur. They have evil dreams of racism and hateful visions of bigotry. And with those dreams and visions, we will surely perish. There are those who would prevent women from having a say-so over their own bodies. There are those who would ban books and keep teachers from drawing parallels between our past and present so that students will not learn what American history is truly about. There are those who warn us about CRT, but fail to talk about WRT, white replacement theory, a tiresome delusion that the white race is being left behind and replaced by African Americans, Jews, and other minoritized populations. That's what led to some misguided soul who saw the need to go to Buffalo one day and hunt down and execute Black people in their everyday activity of shopping in a grocery store. A vicious doctrine that needs to end. We must all combat these illusions and delusions with dreams and visions of love, compassion, empathy, equality, and justice. And as I end, please remember that when you finally get to the top, when you rise to the pinnacle of your profession, to the heights of the heap, to the top of the totem pole, don't forget those who didn't have the opportunities that you have had to make it, to rise to the top. As you rise to the top, don't forget to use your voice and speak about injustice. As you rise to the top, don't forget to use your voice and make a way from those who are stuck at the bottom. As you rise to the top, don't forget to use your voice about uncomfortable issues so that we can make better a nation to live in. As you rise to the top, don't forget to use your voice to speak truth to the powerful on behalf of the powerless. As you rise to the top, don't forget your voice to remind those that it's not about money and fame or that you create success, but that you are willing to sacrifice for the greater good and to help the nation rise to the top. Not to the top of the world's superpowers, but to the top of the mountain of service to humanity and the defense of the vulnerable. Go forward, class 2K Deuce Deuce, and recognize that you have a valuable gift, a tremendous talent, and a magnificent mission to keep rising to the top, to help others to do the same. God bless you. God bless this nation as we seek to do the right thing under impossible conditions in difficult times. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey, for those very inspiring words. This afternoon, we will be recognizing each member of the graduating class of spring 2022. In every instance, I am confident the graduate could not have achieved as well without the support and sacrifice offered by many of you with us today and others who are unable to be present. Spouses of our graduates, children, parents, relatives, and friends, we at Stark State join our graduates in recognizing your sacrifices and support. Congratulations to you, along with our graduates. At this time, I ask the deans to join me at the podium to make their recommendation for conferring of the degrees.
Candidates for the Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, and Associate of Applied Science, including early college and the Arts and Sciences Division, please stand. Provost Leda Gibson-Shreve, inasmuch as these students have successfully completed the prescribed program for the Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, and Associate of Applied Science at Stark State College, I, Dr. Andrew Steffen, as Dean of Arts and Science Division, with the approval of the faculty, recommend them for conferring of these degrees. Candidates, please be seated.
Candidates for the Associate of Applied Business, Associate of Applied Science, Associate of Science, and Associate of Technical Studies in the Business, Engineering, and Information Technologies Division, please stand. Provost Gibson-Shreve, inasmuch as these students have successfully completed the prescribed program for the Associate of Applied Business, Associate of Applied Science, Associate of Science, and Associate of Technical Studies degree at Stark State College, I, Dr. Don Ball, as Dean of Business, Engineering, and Information Technologies Division, the approval of the faculty, recommend them for conferring of these degrees. Candidates, please be seated.
Candidates for the Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Science, and Associate of Technical Studies in the Health and Public Services Division, please stand. Provost Leda Gibson-Shreve, inasmuch as these students have successfully completed the prescribed program for the Associate of Art, Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Science, and Associate of Technical Studies degrees at Stark State College, I, Kelly Rensel, as Dean of Health and Public Services Division, with the approval of the faculty, recommend them for conferring of these degrees. Candidates, please be seated.
President Jones, these students have successfully fulfilled the prescribed programs: Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Business, Associate of Applied Science, and Associate of Technical Studies. These applications have been certified by the Registrar of Stark State College. As Provost and Chief Academic Officer, I therefore recommend them to you as worthy candidates for the conferring of degrees. Dr. Jones will now come forward to recommend the candidates to the Board of Trustees.
Board Chair, members of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of the faculty and administration of Stark State College, it is my great pleasure to present to you the graduating class of 2022. These candidates have met all of the requirements as set forth by the Ohio Department of Higher Education and the Board of Trustees of Stark State College. And now I call forward the chair of Stark State College's Board of Trustees, Karen Lefton, to approve the candidates.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I accept the recommendation of the faculty and administration. The candidates of the spring 2022 graduating class are hereby approved for their respective degrees. Will the candidates please come forward and be recognized for completion of their degrees?
The following students will be receiving an Associate of Science degree in biology. Deanna Jane Apicella with high distinction and with a second degree in pre-medical professional concentration. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Arts degree in communication. Andrew Comstock Kitto. Siobhan Umbles. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Early Childhood Education. Summers Janae Black. Jessica Marie Butcher. Haley Jade Cox with high distinction. Michaela Nicole Long with high distinction. Okay. Samantha Sanker with distinction. Emily Sue Young. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Science degree in Education. Joy Lucretia Bufford with distinction. Kimberly Lynette Davis. Kennedy. There we are. Ashley Lynn Ellis. Vernell Elaine Foxworth. Olivia Rayanne Hine. Tammy N. Jackson with high distinction. Jensen N. Misich. Ashley Vanessa Morales. Sophia Rose Scarpitti with distinction. Brooke Allison Sims. Kaylee C. Young with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Arts degree in Psychology. Christopher Blue McMahon. Karen Lee Brown. Amanda Renee Chester with distinction. Kayla Marie Coffin. Amber Denham. Julie Hanlon. Carrie Lockard. Autumn Miguez. Sydney Monter with high distinction. Rebecca Lynn Shank. Chelsea Simeon with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Technical Communications. Nicole Parsons. Anna Maria Villanova with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Arts degree. Jasmine Sydney Christine Bovard with distinction. Heather Elizabeth Eddy with distinction. Jared Goodwin. Alyssa Lombacher. Christopher Manchester. Demetrius Mumford, with a Second Associate of Science degree. Jarrett Ravel. Anna Stallings, with high distinction and with a Second Associate of Science degree. Madison Marie Bond. Sorry, I'll get that. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Science degree. Callan Christine Chumta, with high distinction. Dakota Justine Coles, with high distinction. Melanie Sue Matheson, with high distinction. Victoria Nigro. Sydney Weeks, with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in 3D Motion Graphics Technology. Jillian Foster. Winter Vandersali, with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in accounting. Madison Mackenzie Bennett, with distinction. Caitlin Buxar, with distinction, with a second degree in finance and a third degree in business management. Jordan Dilbeck, with distinction. Beth Geel. Tara Marie Hamilton. Jennifer L. Hartley, with high distinction. Kayla Marie Sparks, with high distinction. Let her. Sabina K. Walter. Vilma Shong. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Automotive Technology. Drake Richard Davis. Devon Paul Merkel, with high distinction. Hunter A. Perry. Jordan Miguel Paraki. William M. Robbie. Brendan Jeffrey Wyrich, with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Business Management. Farhad Al-Mutari, with high distinction. Sarah Elizabeth Bayless. Victor Sifwa Bellevaux. Jessica Borton. Lakeisha Dotson. Ladi W. Fair III. Butch Cornelius Fortner. That's him. Dina Louise Hersig, with distinction. Haley Renee Hornbeck. Cindy L. Keys, with high distinction. Alyssa E. Crocus, with distinction. Gavin William Lovelace. Logan James Palmer. Jamie Ray Homier. Patrick Darren Powell, Jr. Natalie Pugh. Sylvie Elizabeth Rhodes. Kylie S. Rieger, with distinction. Faith Elizabeth Saffel, with distinction. Justin Robert Smith. Ryan B. Solarzal. Kyle Darko Spessert. Vincia St. Luce. Destiny Stevenson, with high distinction. Vantenio Taylor. Jordan D. Vass. Alicia J. Ward, with high distinction, with a second degree in marketing and sales management. Isaiah Charles Washington. Edward Daniel Whetstone Jr., with distinction. Mariah Winecoop.
The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Civil Engineering Technology. Jordan M. Huff. Brianna K. Smith, with distinction. Nicole L. Stone. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Computer Engineering. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Computer Graphic Arts. Sheridan Colleen Kelly. Darren Matthew Rook, with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Computer Network Administration and Security Technology. James Edward Dillon, with distinction. Bridget Krause, with distinction. Kyle Rosenbaum, with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Computer Programming and Database. Mark D. Troyer. Jared Alexander Warford, with a second degree in Computer Technology. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Computer Science and Engineering. Christopher A. Bartley. Anthony Brood. Joshua Allen Grant, with high distinction. Kyle Jacob McQuaid, with high distinction. Yao Opang, with high distinction. Evan Michael Stemple. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Computer Technology. Chris Dean Schaefer. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Cybersecurity and Computer Forensics Technology. Olivia Marie Kate, with high distinction. Sean M. Green, with distinction. Charles Evan Gregory. Amber Henwood. Ryan Keith Kutzman, with distinction. Crystal Renee Starks Daniel, with high distinction. Tyler Ray Schaefer. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Digital, Video, and Media Technology. Adam C. Davis, with high distinction. Alicia Maley. Cameron Michael Monette. Logan Pirro, with high distinction. Brett Allen Tipton, with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Electric Power Utility Technology. Jack David Clark, with distinction. Chase J. Krieger. Keaton J. Dyer, with distinction. Zachary Dale Forche, with distinction. Chase B. Greeley, with high distinction. Sarah Danielle Hines, with high distinction. Christopher P. Jackson, with high distinction. John Sergey Lawrence, with distinction. Nick Carl Mayer. Brendan Davis Moore, with distinction. Zachary R. Oblisk, with high distinction. Salvatore Francis Santel, with distinction. Jonathan Richard Zerbini, with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Electrical Maintenance Technology. Abdurrahman Al-Kwemi, with high distinction, with a second degree in Electrical Electronic Engineering Technology. Andrew Christopher Balecki. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Electrical Electronic Engineering Technology. Colin Ray Brightwell. Sophia Horwitz. Michael Montgomery, with distinction. Nicholas Scott Partial, with distinction. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Environmental Water and Wastewater Technology. Alexandra Joy Feeser, with distinction. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Finance. Vanessa M. Pearson, with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning, and refrigeration technology. Joseph Israel Detweiler with distinction. Colby D. Metz with distinction. Nicholas Nehigh with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Industrial Technology. Raymond Eugene Berry with distinction. Sean Michael Stump. Eric S. Wixie. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Marketing and Sales Management. Megan Marie Borza. Brissel Clayton. Jacob Shahan. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Mechanical Engineering Technology. Marcellus Deshawn Bertram. Spencer Christian Phillips. Adam Daniel Valentine with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Music Production and Engineering. Joshua J. Metzger with distinction. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Petroleum Technology. Eric Lee John. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Technical Studies degree in Information Technology. Rachel N. Hicks with distinction.
The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Concept-Based Nursing. Safia Abdul Zair. Linda Akaragbi. Ancho. Joyce Baden with distinction. Samantha Elizabeth Ross. Blake Bakies. Paul Ikwame Bilson. Amanda M. Blueball. Crystal L. Bowers with distinction. Karina Renee Brown. Wilbur Cabrera. Emma Gabrielle Carr. Okay. With distinction. Brandon Cordia. Sean K. Craven. Morgan Louise Delaney. Carrie Ann DeRoche with distinction. Lindsay Dowdy. Tabitha Evans with distinction. Tyrese Evans with distinction. Abby Galena. Kristen Noel Greathouse. Joshua Hazlitt. Jessica Hensley. Corey Hupp. Alexis Carmine Kirkland Fairley. Ashley Denise Lewis with high distinction.
Thank you.
Amanda Renee Loveday. Charla Mack. Tessa Autumn Danae Maley. Brian Malio with distinction. Valerie Christine Miller. Gabriel Elisha Munez with distinction. Trisha Murphy with distinction. Shannon E. Norris. Nancy Kasawa Niarko with distinction. George Silver Honorito with distinction. Haley Elizabeth Penrod. Heather Poland with distinction. Bryce Poole with distinction. Hannah Elizabeth Papico. Tiffany R. Ritchie. Gabrielle Rosa. Jennifer Schneider. Tamari Nashe Sperling. Jesse Stillwell. Aisley Nicole Watts Lawrence. Mary Catherine Westry with distinction. Cecily Sharice Williams. Madison Ray Yance. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Arts degree in Criminal Justice. Kaylee Rose Garman. Tasha Miller. Yaritza Reza. Rolona Siri. Alexis Kindle Sexton with high distinction. Tiara Smith. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Science degree in Dental Assisting. Julie Denton with high distinction. Jordan Seth Thompson. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Dental Hygiene. Kaylee Marie Baker. Lauren Bologna with distinction. Kayla S. Brownfield, with distinction. Kylie Elizabeth Delapi. Michelle Lynn George. Renee Lynn Gornishek, with distinction. Brandon A. Jones. Brianna Kayleen Leifer. Jennifer Ann McGraw, with distinction. Kaylee Nicole Norris. Lauren Elizabeth Peak. Ruby Sunland, with distinction. Hope Strodbeck, with high distinction. Caitlin Tishmer. Lauren Tomich. Megan Vick. Charisse L. White. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Science degree in Dietetic Technician. Brianne Hawthorne, with distinction. Kaylin Murray. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Emergency Fire Services. Sierra O'Connor, with high distinction, with a second degree in Emergency Medical Services. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Emergency Medical Services. Eric Dryland, with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Science degree in Expanded Functions Dental Auxiliary. Requia Barksdale. Carnia Marie Melton. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Health Information Management. Jalisa Davis. Caitlin Marie Graybill. Larissa Loudon. Stephanie Sabo, with high distinction. Jessica M. Simons. Carolyn Danae Walters. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Human and Social Services. Tershay Beasley. Tony Code Jones. Jessica Brooke Grindle. Stephen Hector, with high distinction. Dustin Kern, with distinction. Michaeline Koger.
Thank you.
Christina Nicole Rager. Jade Aurora Stornisa.
The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Massage Therapy. Sonia Elizabeth Barker. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Medical Assisting. Caitlin M. Bosworth. Emily Marie Hamrick. Michaela Ann Huber with distinction. Phyllis L. Moxon with distinction. Allison M. L. Moraine. Emily Ann Worley. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Medical Laboratory Technology. Brittany A. Anthony with distinction. Amelia Jade Burris. Jacqueline Ford. Crystal Giese with distinction. Kayla Mendel. Carrie Lynn Richardson. Rebecca Mesa Vang with distinction. Jeremy Samuel Williams Sr. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Occupational Therapy Assistant. Corinne M. Bessel. Nicole E. Blair with distinction. Rebecca Lynn Graff. Jasmine S. Harris. Brianna Oni. Kayla M. Palmer. Lindsay M. Peterson with distinction. Sadie Renee Robinson. Ethan Robert Schlebaugh. Alexandra Marie Shanafelt. Kara Starling. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Physical Therapist Assistance. Michaela Ann Baker with high distinction. Caitlin M. Beard. Sarah Ashley Burdette. Owen Clugston with high distinction. Elizabeth Maximovich Crane with distinction. Jessica A. Farron with high distinction. Sean Michael Gerber with high distinction. Kaylee Dawn Houston. Teresa Lynn Kassler. McKenna Abigail King with distinction. Tyler W. Maxwell. Derek Kevin Osborne with high distinction. Braden S. Penrod. Megan Rose Renardi with distinction. Valerie Marie Samarijan. Preston Scott Simler with distinction. Megan Stevenson. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Police Science. Alisa Rochelle Richard. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Respiratory Care. Brooke Elizabeth Bennett. Zoe N. Bosley with distinction. Maya Celine Brown. Dana Marie Forrester. Fatima Hamad with high distinction. Olivia Jean Jagger. Samantha Canal. Sarah E. Linhoff. Molly Lauweave with high distinction. Gabrielle Nicole Lucasano. Marquisha Mitchell. Cherie Lene Phillips. Jaya Ronique Stone. Brandon Jordan Thomas. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Surgical Technology. Olivia K. Barton with distinction. Lisa Kathy. Samantha DeVitt. Ashley Aiken with distinction. Stacy Kurzinski. Sydney Mitchell with distinction. Kristen April Pendleton. Heather Marie Spiker with high distinction. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Technical Studies degree in Public Services. Lisa E. Blind with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Arts degree as early college high school students. Jalen Nicole Bell. Jada Sincere Benison. Rabier Bellanica Blakely with a second Associate of Science degree. Mary E. Blyce with distinction. Kayla S. Bonilla. Kaylee Brianne Boynton. Frances Gray Campbell with a second Associate of Science degree. Nadia B. Dayuk with a second Associate of Science degree. Gwyneth Victoria Dolce with a second Associate of Science degree. Khalija Michael Ellis. Riley Ann Emery with distinction with a second Associate of Science degree. Tegan Lee Fuller with distinction with a second Associate of Science degree. Christopher M. Gibson with distinction with a second Associate of Science degree. Johanna Gray. Austin Riley Haynes with a second Associate of Science degree. Julian Presley Hanlon with a second Associate of Science degree. Jessica A. Horner. Tyler Nicholas Hunt with high distinction with a second Associate of Science degree. Olivia Marie Hunter with distinction with a second Associate of Science degree.
Thank you.
Willow Jean Jernigan with a second Associate of Science degree. Alexa L. Jessup. Matthew D. Kokensbarger with high distinction with a second Associate of Science degree. Matthew B. Kuhn. Mackenzie M. Lavati with distinction with a second Associate of Science degree. Camille Joan Marciani with a second Associate of Science degree. Treasure L. McLean. Michaela N. McCree with a second Associate of Science degree. Malaki Keegan McGuire with high distinction with a second Associate of Science degree. Riley T. Miller. Stephen Monahan with high distinction with a second Associate of Science degree. Kaya T. Moore with a second Associate of Science degree. Lizaye Anai Motley with a second Associate of Science degree. Capri E. Nelson. Dakota Taylor Purdy with a second Associate of Science degree. Sadahi Quintero with a second Associate of Science degree. Deasia Amani Rampy with a second Associate of Science degree. Autumn Raven Aiden Reed with a second Associate of Science degree. Deidre M. Robbins with a second Associate of Science degree. Derek David Sexton with a second Associate of Science degree. Elena Simone Shaheen with a second Associate of Science degree. Elijah S. Singleton with a second Associate of Science degree. Brooke Lynn Marie Tucker with a second Associate of Science degree. Jacob M. Turner. Kaylee Renee Villa with a second Associate of Science degree. Landon Palmer Wallner. Taylor Janae Wortley with distinction. Zachariah Paul Wortman with distinction with a second Associate of Science degree. Ava Jean Wells with a second Associate of Science degree. Jake H. Wessel with a second Associate of Science degree. Anthony M. Yoho with high distinction with a second Associate of Science degree. McKenna Johellen Young with a second Associate of Science degree.
Ladies and gentlemen, will the candidates for graduation please stand? Based upon the recommendations of the faculty and the power invested in me by the state of Ohio, I do hereby bestow upon you the respective Associate of Arts degree, Associate of Science degree, Associate degree of Applied Business, Associate degree of Applied Science, and Associate degree of Technical Studies, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. As a symbol of completion of your degrees, graduates, please switch your tassels from the right to the left side of your caps. Congratulations. You make us all proud. Everyone in the audience and everyone up here, you have made us all very proud. Graduates, you may be seated. At this time, I would like to ask Ryan Johanning of Interfaith Campus Ministries to the stage to offer reflection.
Graduates, let me express my sincere congratulations to each of you. All of you are indeed deserving of the praise, tribute, and accolades that have been sent your way today. Enjoy your well-earned honor. As you depart today, think of the ways that you can utilize your training and expertise that you have received from Stark State College in order to serve and enhance the lives of others.
I'm sure you join me in the honor of being a part of this special ceremony. I also want to extend my congratulations and best wishes to each of the graduates. At this time, and out of respect of our graduates, members of the audience, please remain in your seats until the platform party and the last graduates have left the auditorium. Congratulations, best wishes to everyone.
Thank you.